Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Let's discuss with author L.A. Logan. On today I want to talk about spiritual connections. Probably wondering, what do I mean by that? Well, if you're trying to do anything in life, or you are trying to start a business or a new venture or anything that has to do with progress and you need some help, spiritual connections are very, very important. You want some more details about that? No problem. Let's get into it. Let's discuss. So this evening I had a meeting with someone concerning a couple projects that I have coming up, more specifically something that's going to be taking place in April. And I was looking for someone to kind of assist me or to kind of be a part of that project, which I will announce later on. But anyhow, we were introduced by a mutual acquaintance. And anyone that knows me knows that I can pretty much get along with anybody. But if I'm going to have you involved in a project with me, or if I'm going to be around you any length of time, there has to be a spiritual connection for me. So what do I mean by a spiritual connection? It means that when I meet you and I get to know you, and usually I can figure this out the first time I'm around you, our spirits, I don't know what else to call it other than spirit. Our spirits have to connect with each other. Like, I have to be able to, my spirit man has to be able to identify with and feel comfortable with your spirit man. So basically what that means is that I need to be comfortable with who you are presenting to me at that time. And I can usually tell when somebody is not showing me the real them. I may not say anything. I may not show it, but I usually can tell. My discernment works very, very well. So I was a little nervous about meeting this individual just because I had heard a lot of positive things about him. And in my mind, I was like, gosh, I really hope that it really, rings true of what I've been told, and that my spirit identifies with this person. And, the individual that is our mutual acquaintance was like, no, I promise you, I promise that you're going to really like this person. They remind me so much of you. So that meeting took place this evening. And when I tell you that I was pleasantly surprised, like, I felt like I was talking to myself. We shared some of the same experiences. We're both authors. We're both passionate about a lot of the same things. And I am just so excited on this evening to even have met this individual and been in their presence. And I'm so excited about working on projects with them in the future. So it got me to thinking, a lot of us are in the process of trying to figure out what our purpose is, what it is that we want to work on, whether it's a business, writing a book, just a whole variety of things. Maybe you're wanting to do a movie, a screenplay, I don't know, a vlog. I mean, just anything that your heart's desire. But the thing that's holding you back outside of being stuck on scared, we talked about that the other day. It's resources and just knowing people. I talked about, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals and people who share in the same vision or have experience in the things that in the area that you're trying to go into. So, in order for that to work, because we can meet a lot of people that we have things in common with, or we like some of the same things, have interest in the same things, but that doesn't mean you can work together. Nothing worse can happen to you is that you have this vision that God has given you, and you have a purpose, and you're very clear on what that is, and then you end up surrounding yourself with people who either don't see the vision, don't believe in the vision, or even worse, they don't, your spirit doesn't get along with them. Your spirit doesn't connect. You find yourself having back and forth conversations with them. You find yourself having to do a lot of following up or micromanaging in order to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that makes it hard. Now, granted, whenever you're trying to do something new, something you've been called to do, or something you have a vision for, or a passion for, or a calling for, you are going to have some challenges. I mean, that just comes with the process. But you want to make sure you have people who are not there to kill your vision and to see it fail. You want to make sure you have people on your team and surround yourself with people that are like-minded and like-spirited. I think it was T.D. Jakes. I heard him say a long time ago, I think this was right on the cusp of when he was becoming, he was getting more and more into doing movies and things of that nature, things outside of the pulpit. He said that he would only do business with Christians, that he couldn't allow himself to do business with people who didn't share that same or that like spirit that he has. And so that kind of stuck with me, in that you want to make sure that you're doing business, or that you're whatever venture, whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you're doing it with people that your spirit man connects with, because that is so, so, so important. I mean, just imagine, you're trying to write a book and you have everybody that you surround yourself with, or that you have on your team, all they know about is playing basketball. I don't know, like they don't know anything about the literary world, and they're not trying to find anything out. So they're constantly telling you why it's not going to work, why it's going to fail, why you can't do this, but never saying to you, well, this may not work, but let's try this. Or I know somebody instead of saying, well, I know so-and-so and they did that and it never worked for them. Instead of saying, well, so-and-so did that and what did not work for them was XYZ. So maybe we should try ABC, or, whatever. When your spirit don't connect with somebody. And I'm not talking about that they might just be having an unlovely moment. I mean, they just unlovely. And you know what the definition of unlovely is. If not, go back and watch the video. Your spirit will tell you, something just ain't right. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like every time this person comes in to my presence, the atmosphere shifts, and not in a positive way. That means something. You need to pay attention to that. People will kill your vision, your dreams, your aspirations, your purpose, and you won't even realize that they're doing it. You want to make sure that those people that are representing you, the real you. You can't have everybody talking to everybody on your behalf, or negotiating deals, or calling to schedule appointments, or calling to gather information, because everybody don't have that spirit. Now, don't get me wrong, just because a person doesn't have doesn't have telephone etiquette, doesn't necessarily mean that they can't help by doing something else behind the scenes. Maybe they're more so there to help set up the venue for you, versus calling the venue and making the deal as far as the contracts or what have you. I mean, find out what they're good at. But again, the most important thing is that they have got to agree with your spirit, or your spirit has got to agree with them. And those people when you're around them. I mean, you just don't feel right when they come around, or you feel anxious, or your whole everything just changes when they are involved. They don't get along with other people that are on the team. You know who they are and what the sign is. And hey, doesn't necessarily make them a bad person per se. It just means they're not a good person to work with you, and that is okay. Again, the unlovelies, we are called to love them. Just like the Bible tells us that how can you love me whom you've never seen, but not love your brother that you see every day. But the Bible also says, how can two walk together except they agree? If they're not in agreement with what you have going on, their spirit doesn't connect to your spirit, you got to let them go, or you've got to not bring them onto your team when you first meet with them. So the individual that I met with on tonight, I felt like I was sitting across from myself having a conversation. I mean, they were just awesome, and I can't wait to be a part of their visions and goals and different things that they have that they're doing. I can't wait to work with them because I just know it's going to be awesome. Because one, it's God ordained, and two, we have like spirits. So yeah, I just kind of want to discuss that with you on tonight. How do you deal with people that you work with or you deal with when it comes to your business or your events that you may plan or that you may be a part of, and your spirit doesn't quite agree with them? Do you pull them to the side and have a conversation with them, or do you find an area that they can work in when that they're less disruptive, or do you just slowly start to disconnect from them? Which all three of those or four of those are perfectly fine. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person or that you're doing anything mean. It just means that you're looking out for your brand, because if you don't look out for your brand, nobody else will. Never have anyone on your team that's not a positive, healthy representative of your brand. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to say that, L.A. Logan's coordinator of benefits was a horrible person. They're going to say working with L.A. Logan is absolutely horrible. She's difficult. Her people are difficult. And you may be very well oblivious to any of that because you don't know that this individual has showed out like that. And by the time you find out, it's actually too late. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to discuss that with you on tonight. I'd love to hear your feedback and how you deal with your brand as it pertains to the people that work with you. And is it a spirit thing for you? If not, what is it for you? I'd love to hear about it. Drop me some comments below. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. If you enjoyed what you saw or heard on this evening, I ask that you click the like button. I ask that you subscribe, and I ask that you share with those that you like. Yeah, I enjoy our discussions. I enjoy the comments. I reply to them. I want this to be as interactive as possible, as much as it can be. So yeah, thank you again for joining in on the discussion. And if you didn't enjoy the discussion, oh well, maybe next time. But I do want to leave you with this. The plans for your life have already been designed. It's just up to you to trust the planner. Have a good one, everybody.